What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the certifiably suave Dr. Disaster, and they did it, folks. They absolutely did it. We are now 3 days before the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they, at Ubisoft, have managed to finally break into the top 10 bestsellers on Steam. And naturally, I have read comments from a ton of Ubisoft defenders out there who think this is a sign that the game is going to be a massive success.
This is the most important thing to ever happen in the history of the world. Nobody cares.
But once again, Ubisoft has released a trailer for this game. They're calling it their cinematic launch trailer, and it landed not with a bang, but with a whimper. Considerably fewer people watched this trailer than I thought would have, and in the 3 places where it launched, one of those trailers was ratioed, and the other 2 have shameful ratios. And the comment section for these videos is positively brutal. Things have gotten so bad for Ubisoft that they have even gone out of their way to copyright strike certain channels playing footage of their game from trailers. They are pulling a Naughty Dog with this one, just like they did with The Last of Us 2, trying desperately to do anything to stop the negativity, because if there's anything a company like Ubisoft cannot handle when one of their games comes out, it's fair criticism. Alright, me hearties, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, consider supporting the channel by becoming a member for $5 a month. There is a surprise waiting in the wings for members only coming up that I'm very excited to be announcing soon, but anyhow, let's talk about this Assassin's Creed Shadows situation. First of all, let's look at these Steam chart numbers that people have been bragging about. I don't know who needs to hear this, but a game from a studio as large as Ubisoft, from a franchise with the pedigree of Assassin's Creed no less, a game like that absolutely should be in the top 10 bestsellers on Steam, and it should hit those numbers at least a few weeks before release. The fact that they just crossed that threshold and that they just limped across 30,000 followers on the platform is an extraordinarily bad look for the overall outlook of the game's health. Now, I know that this is the first Assassin's Creed game to be launched on day 1 on Steam in a long while, but you've got to think that Steam represents the largest chunk of gamers in the world. There is an estimated 160 million people who play games on the platform. The number of PS5s sold is somewhere around half that number, and the number of Xboxes is somewhere around a fifth of that number. So you've got to think that this is fairly ominous for a game that Ubisoft simply requires that it sells well. They require that in order to survive as a company. They need a launch somewhere in the neighborhood of Monster Hunter Wilds in order to be successful, and that just isn't happening. Here is an interesting comment from Endymion, where he points out the sales numbers for the game on Amazon in Japan. He says, Assassin's Creed Shadows is currently the second best-selling game on Amazon Japan. However, it's not as big as you think. Monster Hunter Wilds is at first place with 69,000 units sold. Shadows has 1,000. That's not a lot, but shows you how much of a dip there is. I still think the game will sell 1 million at least worldwide through its first few days. I'm also guessing 90,000 on Steam concurrent player-wise, but it needs to be a Wilds level success to make money. I guess we'll see. And I've got to say, if the game only sells 1 million worldwide in its first few days, that is going to be absolutely terrible for Assassin's Creed Shadows. But that goes to show how much of a level of disparity there is between an actually popular game like Monster Hunter, which has been released for going on 3 weeks now, by the way, and a game like Shadows, which is 3 days away from its release. Japan is going to be one of the most interesting and important places for the sales numbers of this game for months now. The word has been that the Japanese people are none too thrilled with the disrespectful portrayal of Japanese culture, and it's pissed a lot of them off, leaving many of us to expect poor sales of the game in that country. And considering how large the market is there, Japan is the 3rd largest gaming market in the world, behind only China and the US. But considering that, and how Ubisoft was likely banking on doing well in that country with this game, this is just one more sign that the game is going to struggle. But let's look at the trailers that I briefly showed you a few minutes ago. It released on 3 different YouTube channels. On the Ubisoft channel, which is damn near 4 million subscribers, they've only managed 228,000 views, though the ratio on this one is better than the other 2 by a wide margin, with 12,000 likes to 6,000 dislikes. But even getting half the dislikes as likes only a few days before the release of the game is not exactly stupendous. And if you look at the comments, they are absolutely scathing. You have to scroll quite a ways before you get anything positive. The top guy there says, "Nowie, we move unseen." Yaski, yeah, about that. The next fella says, "I don't need to play the game. I'm completely confident this game is a disaster in terms of performance, story, and perhaps the only thing they didn't copy and paste, as they have for the last decade, is the combat, but I still don't trust this company at all." And then the next person wrote, "Let me say this as a Japanese, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a complete and utter insult to Japan and its culture. I really feel sorry for Yaski to be taken advantage of by something like this. From the viewpoint of us Japanese, the characters depicted in this video game are neither samurai nor ninja, but merely robbers and villains of bandits. And the country depicted in this is a non-existent country mixed with other Asian countries that are not Japan. Assassin's Creed Shadows has become a game where black folks insult and slaughter Asians. It is up to individuals to enjoy the game, but please don't belittle our Japanese history and culture by believing in this video game." And then, how from all the stories you could tell about Japan, you chose the one that has no connection to the culture whatsoever. So yeah, the general vibe is just complete negativity in the comment section. People are hating on this turd. And over on the PS5 version of the trailer, they've got only 83,000 views on it, and they have been damn near ratioed as well, with 4.1 thousand likes to 3.8 thousand dislikes. And once again, the comments are rough for Ubisoft. As you can see, these are just the top comments. The first one says, "Can't wait till it's 90% off." And then they were bold for letting people comment on this video. The next person wrote, "Shaping history? Really?" And then this person said, "This reminds me, I need to play Sekiro again." And then the next person wrote, "These comments, holy crap." And I scrolled through the whole comment section and struggled to find even one positive comment that wasn't just a reply to the original comments with a heavy dose of copium. But lastly, we have the IGN version of the trailer, which did get ratioed. On a channel with almost 19 million subscribers, they are at only 124,000 views. What this tells us is that people have pretty much just made up their mind on this game already. People just aren't clicking on the trailer because they largely don't give a shit any longer, and there just aren't that many people that are hyped about it. But anyhow, on this video, they are at 3.6 thousand likes to 4.1 thousand dislikes. And once again, the comment section is virtually entirely negative. There are a few people who claim to be excited, but it's pretty rare. the sentiment for this thing is negative as hell, which is likely why we have heard that a few channels who have not been positive about the game have been seeing copyright strikes. As Grums says here on X, Ubisoft are busy copyright striking people who post about Assassin's Creed Shadows. They are running defense. And as you can see underneath, that is YouTuber Shohei Kondo talking about how he got copyright struck. Smash JT and Hypnotic have both reportedly gotten strikes from the sound of things as well. As you can see here, they are using the music in their game as the basis for claiming copyright over these videos. That's pretty weak sauce from Ubisoft, considering the fact that trailers and gameplay footage are understood to be fair use. But these people are desperate to contain the narrative. That being said, it doesn't seem to be working at all, does it? In any case, I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.